Welcome back to the show, everybody. We got a great one lined up for you. 1.68 billion XRP move. Coinbase glitch harms XRP holders for an airdrop. Grunfest letter. We've got a clip from John Deaton that really lays it down. The question now is what's the damage to all of us as XRP holders here? Brad Garlinghouse delivers an early Christmas present to all of us by calling out and slamming Jay Clayton over his recent opinion and turn of events here. And Catalyst for Change, we'll cover it. And by the way, the XRP ledger payment volume is through the roof. Can somebody help us understand this? Because ultimately, I've talked about this on the channel. What about Swift and RippleNet? A merger, an acquisition, a partnership. Come on in. Somebody roll that beautiful intro.
This is Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Subscribe for new content notifications. Now, here's Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. You can follow me on Twitter at @BackupBradleyAbove and everything that we're talking about here today. And give us a follow on Facebook. Digital Perspectives News, no spaces, ladies and gentlemen. We will be doing a Christmas special live either today or tomorrow, so make sure you keep a lookout for that, but you got to follow us on Facebook to catch us on it. $2.371 trillion market cap, ladies and gentlemen. Bitcoin is 50,800 plus. Ethereum is over $4,000 this morning. Solana is $191 and change. Cardano is $1.44. XRP is 92 cents this morning. Let's look at the price range. 0.8994 on the low side and 0.9683 on the top side. We will keep an eye on it. We are closing out the year here. And as we close out this year, I have to say, on Christmas Eve, with all of its splendor, as if it couldn't get any better, I got this gift of wine from Link2.com. They're a great company with a great group of people. They really are. It feels so good to be a part of the Link2 family. Not only do they offer great opportunities for private equity for a lot of companies in this blockchain crypto space, but they have great wine too. Yeah, thank you. The wine is amazing. I appreciate you guys so much. 2022 is going to be a great year. Looking at this 1.6 billion XRP moved by whales and exchanges for the second consecutive day. What's going on here? We take a look at this and, it's hard to glean what is happening here. 1.68 billion XRP coins per the whale alert here. This is amazing to me. Analytics service BitHump. It says here the second consecutive day when the aforementioned crypto tracking platform has detected over 1 billion XRP coins transferred by big crypto market players. It says at the time of writing, rank 7 coin market cap is changing hands at 91 cents here. It talks about here there is some of the transfers carried lumps exceeding 100 million, 225 million. One of them was made by top Korean exchange BitHump, 103 million it shows here. And then it goes on down here to talk about here, 225 was shifted between wallets tagged as unknown. And then it goes down here and talks about carrying the same amount of crypto was also made by an anonymous wallet, to Binance Exchange. Where is all of this going and why? The other XRP transfers were made by FTX Exchange, Bitfinex, and again Binance, acting both as sender and receiver here, Bitstamp, Coin1, and Bittrex. I don't know. I tell you, you have to wonder at some point, are they jockeying around to serve on-demand liquidity? Are they preparing for relist in some instances? I mean, I don't know what the answer is, but we're going to look at some information here because there is some extremely high ledger payment volume that if anybody has any information on it, I would appreciate your help to really shine a light on that as well. But let's start here first today because Coinbase freezes funds for XRP holders. And we are 369 days into this American crypto innovation under siege, ladies and gentlemen. The SEC versus Ripple case here. Shout out to ProCoin News. If you're not following them, you should be. This article talks about, and listen, I had several people contact me yesterday. They were trying to move their XRP funds from Coinbase to be able to participate, let's say, on Uphold or other exchanges that are participating for the Solo token airdrop from Sologenic. Shout out to Bob Ross and the crew. they had the same thing go on between all of them. And this is one of the things that was highlighted too. It said here, and we all know there's a difference between Ripple the company and XRP the asset. But for some reason yesterday, this was showing up on Coinbase. It says, hey, Coinbase, not only do I want my Flare and my Songbird and my Solo, but according to you, I own Ripple. It even shows here that Ripple's being represented as the name of XRP for transfers being made here. What a show of disrespect from Coinbase. But that's the surface of it. What's deeper of this is the glitch really happening, that when they go to move their own XRP from their Coinbase account to somewhere like Uphold to be able to participate in the snapshot to receive the Solo tokens, their funds were frozen. And it just stayed in a state of being locked. And really, if you don't know this and you're new to the space, anytime you need to move a large sum, it is suggested here by ProCoin News, rightfully so, that if you're going to move a large sum, you always do a test of 100 XRP or 200, something small to make sure that it goes through. And immediately, it went pending for him. And then he did 300, and that went pending. And then sometime later, hours later, 10 hours later for the 300 XRP. And then he did 2,000 after that to clear. And that was the same amount of time in the middle of the night before it was confirmed it was received by Uphold. Now, this goes on to say it isn't just ProCoin News that this is happening to. Call it journalist intuition. But would anyone be shocked if they suddenly fixed the glitch at Coinbase right after the Solo snapshot is taken? Asking for a few friends. Would anyone be surprised if 3:30 p.m. after the snapshot, the funds suddenly get released? When you log into Coinbase support, an oxymoron if they ever had one. And really here, he says here, they claimed late yesterday at 12:23:21, late yesterday afternoon, a fix was implemented. But this is demonstrably false, he says, based on this reporter's very own experience. And based on the reports of many others online today. And that was as of 12:24. Now, this is really remarkable. Look at the amount of people. It took 8 hours to move XRP from Coinbase to Uphold, right? Yes, I know that they were drawing on pending. And it says here, I helped a coworker and my dad get an XRP off Coinbase yesterday. Both of them said pending until December 26th. Very shady. I don't understand what happened here or why it happened, but I really do believe that Coinbase owes everybody out here looking to participate in this airdrop a real solid explanation. Very, very, very uncool. And let alone, what's going on with the flare drop? Coinbase, what's going on with that? It just doesn't add up here, and their lack of response is even more shady, to be perfectly honest with you. Now, talk about shady. We're staying right here. John Deaton shines an amazing light on the fact that Joseph Grunfest, a former SEC chairman, warned Jay Clayton and everyone else of note, including William Hinman, not to sue Ripple just days before Jay Clayton decided to sue Ripple. I tell you, you need to hear this clip. Listen.
Been trading, just delisted. Joseph Grunfest telling them this is about to happen if you do what you're going to do. Given the significance of liquidity to the XRP market, the withdrawal of intermediaries, the exchanges, will most likely cause billions of dollars of losses to innocent third-party holders. The result, to my knowledge, be unprecedented. He goes on to say, I am aware of no instance in which the simple announcement of a commission enforcement proceeding has, absent allegations of fraud, misrepresentation, or omission, caused multi-billion-dollar losses to innocent third parties. You're not alleging fraud. Basically, what he's saying is that if you file this case, it's going to cause more damages to innocent people than any case that's a non-fraud case in the history of the United States Securities Exchange Commission. That's what Joseph Grunfest is saying.
Now, you think about that for a second. That's what Joseph Grunfest is saying. We need to retweet this as much as possible to all the necessary people. I think we need to get John Deaton on Joe Rogan's show. It could do so much to be on a platform that big for XRP holders all around the world, as well as necessary congressmen, FBI, Department of Justice. It just doesn't add up. And I tell you, when you think about adding up, the damages, according to Jimmy Vallee, far exceed what Grunfest forecast in his letter of billions in damages. He believes the damages are in the trillions and climbing each day. How will XR community be made whole from this unprecedented corrupt action of our federal government agency? How about that? It really is a great question here. You know, they were warned and they did it anyway. And like cowards, they fled their office position, their public position, after deciding to drop the lawsuit. Well, let me tell you what. Brad Garlinghouse comes through like a champ here. And he writes his own opinion piece based on the one that was recently put out that we covered here from Jay Clayton, who wrote a op-ed piece in the Wall Street Journal about being so supportive and the American future depends on blockchain. And, you know, isn't it ironic, Brad Garlinghouse said just a few days ago. Well, he's wrote his own piece here. He said, okay, I also wrote down some thoughts on Jay Clayton's about face op-ed in the Wall Street Journal in comparison with his actions in office. And listen to this, because it couldn't be more on point. Brett Garlinghouse, you're a legend, brother. Op-ed from former Securities Exchange Commission Jay Clayton on the article he wrote, America's Futures Depends on Blockchain, is staggeringly ironic given the SEC's abject failure under his leadership to embrace the innovation and potential blockchain and cryptocurrency technologies. Mr. Clayton stifled the crypto industry while in office. Yet now he calls for the government to facilitate the adoption of the technology. The director of national intelligence wrote to Mr. Clayton at the time, urging that regulatory certainty would allow U.S. companies to compete against Chinese rivals. A bipartisan group of members of Congress wrote to Mr. Clayton on the same topic, noting that the SEC crypto posture was unsustainable. Former SEC Commissioner Grunfest cautioned against taking an enforcement action against my company, Ripple, calling it highly problematic. In the U.S., we don't have regulatory clarity for the cryptocurrency market, which hit $3 trillion in market cap last month. The SEC continues to practice selective enforcement, picking winners and losers rather than setting out clear regulatory guidance. Innovation suffers for it. While I'm glad Mr. Clayton now sees the important relationship between crypto, innovation, and national security, his last action in office was to initiate a misguided lawsuit against Ripple. He packed his bags and tried to turn the lights off on crypto at the SEC. Brad Garlinghouse. I tell you what, I don't think you can say it any more clear than the way he said it right there. Jay Clayton is a coward. And I'll tell you something else. You, my friend, not my friend, Jay Clayton, had some other motive. And we know you went to One River and you benefited greatly because of what your decisions were while public office. Title V from the SEC says you're not allowed to gain in private sector from any decisions that were made from public office. You and William Hinman have got a lot of splaining to do, Lucy, a lot of splaining to do. And I hope on this day, you understand that it's going to be very hard for you to relax and celebrate your holidays with your family because you got a lot of trouble in front of you. You do not have the truth on your side. Stepping away from that immediate fact, let's look at this. There is a mounting catalyst for change, for the need of the digital innovation that can help to unlock the velocity of money because of the debt that is reaching record levels of $226 trillion. Might that be what we're starting to see here? Hall of Famer Michael shares with us a screenshot of ledger payment volume, which I have been monitoring, along with Big Skinny, our friend here. I tell you, just a few days ago, ledger payment volume was at 1.8 billion. This number here is now at 27 billion plus. I pulled this up for you now in real time at the actual site itself, and we are sitting here now at 27.2 billion in ledger payment volume. Just a few days ago, it was at 1.8, then jumped over 3 billion, then it was over 5 billion, and today, on this Christmas Day, ledger payment volume is at 27 billion is what I'm seeing here. Now, this is above my pay grade, so I do not know where this volume is coming from. If anyone can help us understand this, it would be greatly appreciated. Let me take you to a place I do understand, and it's right here. And this is Joel Katz right here, and shout out to Anders L for sharing this. This is an older tweet from back in 2017. And this is a dream of his, and it's certainly been a dream of mine. And I do believe we are on the road to see that absolutely happen, that we are headed for an intersection of this. There's no doubt about it in my mind. Joel Katz remarked back in December 30th of 2017, my dream scenario is Swift makes a deal with Ripple where all their banks get to use RippleNet for free, maybe even paying Swift. Fits our XRP strategy perfectly. Goes on to say it's possible Swift doesn't really have any good ability to raise money or seriously innovate, so they're vulnerable. And he's right. This is the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, which is an enforcement agency, which made an amendment to their agency that allows for this. Swift GPI, Global Payment Innovation, when it comes to sending and receiving money cross-border with banks and credit unions. But they go on to talk about the continued growth and expanding partnership of a virtual currency company such as Ripple, which alter both payments messaging platform to support cross-border money transfers, as well as proprietary virtual currency XRP, which can be used to affect the settlement of those transfers. What that brings me to here is this understanding. We are on a path with this case to get legal precedent on this technology, on this digital asset that runs across the rails of this market infrastructure, which is the XRP ledger, a decentralized exchange for all the world. And we must have this legal precedent because you cannot legislate what you have not defined. And when they do, we will be the most compliant digital asset on planet Earth. Understanding we are moving towards a new global standard, the de facto global standard for modern payments, ISO 20022. Ripple is now a part of that ISO 20022 standards body committee. They are the first member focused on distributed ledger technology. Why is that important? It's important because for many years now, Nathan Price highlights just how long there has been testing, and phases set up to be able to move and navigate us all towards this ISO 20022 preparation of implementation. You can see here, November 23rd, 2020, implementation date, right? It talks about the reserve banks would transition from current Fed wire fund services format to the ISO 20022 in 3 phases. It goes on to talk about things here. It says, although the reserve banks would need to make the most of the changes in phase 1, even if the reserve banks were not planning to adopt ISO 20022, all of the changes in this phase would simplify the Fed wire fund services migration to that payment messaging language. This is not a part of the writing in here. It's just a question and statement they're making here. Can we do this beginning of the year, Fed? You need XRP. It's just begging the question. Talking about phase 2 here and graduating here, March 2022 to August 2023. Another period looked at and a window for migration of this new de facto modern payment language. We see here ISO enhancements, target implementation date, November 2023. In phase, the reserve banks would fully implement the ISO 20022 by enabling Fed wire fund services participants to send the new payment languages containing enhanced data as noted in Table 3. we come here to this diagram and we see here highlighted SWIFT, Global Payments Innovation, which is why I showed you the document of the CFPB and how they highlight Global Payment Innovation, SWIFT's GPI solution, right? And then coming back to this document, knowing that if SWIFT's GPI is noted, the CFPB is also noting Ripple and XRP, which they also denote as a virtual currency. And then it goes on here to show even more testing that has gone on over the years as we look at this from way back in March 2018, and even before that we have evidence of that here. June 18, we see here more migration, more targeting to begin in March 2022, just 3 months from now. They're looking at here for Fed funds wire services, right? And then looking on here, testing, depository institution testing. Well, isn't that interesting? Because it was just a week or so ago that I covered here the news, well, back in September, even further back, we covered this. It's the DTCC, Depository Trust Clearing Corporation, settles over $1 quadrillion worth of derivative products every single year. Looking right here, it says here, the Depository Trust Clearing Corporation, DTCC, the premier post-trade market infrastructure for global financial services industry, today announced that its Project Ion initiative, an alternative settlement platform that leverages distributed ledger technology, will move into development phase following a successful prototype pilot with leading market participant firms. With 6 months of testing of the proof of concept now complete, the DTCC has quantitative data and qualitative feedback to build out a production-ready workflow and a roadmap for a subject to regulatory approval, future full industry integration and adoption. That's what we're talking about, ladies and gentlemen. That's the road we're on. 2022, 2023 look to be phenomenal years for the implementation of distributed ledger technology, and to me, yes, XRP. That's going to do it for me. I want to wish everybody a happy holidays, a Merry Christmas if you celebrate. I hope that on this day you're able to spend time with family and friends. I want to tell each and every one of you, I'm grateful to be here. I'm grateful to be able to have this opportunity daily, to be able to talk to each and every one of you, to be on this journey together, and to really share this time and what we're all preparing for, which for me is a chance to not only impact my life or my family, but to transform my family's life with generational wealth. That's going to do it for me. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe, leave a comment below, share with somebody you know. Check out all the links in the description and comment box. They are great products and services I use each and every day. Merry Christmas. I'll catch all of you in the next one.